Hello and welcome to Griddle Cooking with Chef Sherry Ronning. Today we are going to be talking all about griddle tacos. This is our family's new favorite. We have been eating a lot of tacos lately and we're doing it in different ways. We're mixing it up. We've done pulled pork tacos and we have done the regular ground beef tacos. But lately my husband has been getting fish, and so we've been doing fish tacos. But then the other day, I did some chicken tacos, and then now we're going to try some shrimp tacos. So I'm just going to show you how I do it. It's very simple. It's not, you can make like a whole bar full of stuff. You can keep it real simple. It's kind of up to you, but I'm just going to show you what I do. So let's get started. I'm going to show you different parts of it. So I'm going to show you how I marinate the meat, depending on what type of meat you would like. I'm going to show you how I make coleslaw, like a creamy coleslaw. I'm going to try what my Aunt Bonnie's recipe that she had given me. I'm going to mix it up just a little bit, but we're going to give it a try and do like a creamy coleslaw. I'm going to show you how I make a fish taco, or like a taco sauce that we're going to use. We use it for the fish tacos, but we found that you can kind of use it for any kind of taco that you want. So, and I'm going to take you out on the griddle and we're going to cook up the meat and we're going to put it all together, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to do. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to show you the marinating the meat. This is how I do it. Really simple. I like to keep things simple. So I have my chicken. I cut up this is just chicken breast. You can use chicken thighs. You can use, any type of meat that you would like. But I'm just like thin strips, because remember, tacos, you want small pieces. You don't want to be able to take a bite and having a whole big chunk come out. So small pieces. I'm just taking olive oil, just some extra virgin olive oil, pouring in here. And honestly, I'm not even measuring. I would say maybe a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. I just have one chicken breast in here. So, and then we buy our taco seasoning in bulk. So you can also use like fajita seasoning if you like. You can just use even just a simple salt and pepper, but I discovered this. My neighbor, Debbie Bialik, was telling me about this, that she uses this for like her fajitas seasoning, and I tried it the other day and I really, really like it. My family really, really liked it. And so I just take, we buy the taco seasoning in bulk. You can use like packets of it. And I'm saying maybe I use a tablespoon, two tablespoons maybe at the most, but you don't want to overpower it. That's one thing that I found, for me, it's just like maybe I say maybe a tablespoon on here. So and I have it in a Ziploc baggie. So real simple. You can do it in a bowl. But I want to keep it real simple. So I have it in there. And so then I just kind of mix it up. Just be careful not to poke a hole in it. But I just kind of get that seasoning and just get a little bit of coat on it. Like that. And if I see that maybe I want to add just a little bit more seasoning, then I might add just a little bit more. Actually, I think I'm going to. I didn't put a whole lot in. And that's one thing I didn't want to, when I made this, I didn't want to overpower it with the seasoning in there. And so that, less is more. Ooh, I can, got a whiff of that taco seasoning in there. So just gently go like this, just mix it up. It looks like it's not doing too bad. So this you can marinate like 24 hours in advance. You can marinate it, mix it up and put it on the griddle right away. It's kind of up to you how long you marinate it. But that's just the process. So that's the chicken. I'm also going to do some shrimp. So I had the frozen shrimp, so I just thawed them, rinsed them off, and I have them in a bag, and I'm going to do the same thing. A little bit of the olive oil in here. And you don't need a whole lot because there is moisture in there from, you know, the natural moisture, so you don't need a whole lot. And we're just going to go like that, and I'm just going to give it a little shake. Like that. Looks pretty good. And actually, I think I might add just a little bit more. I would say between 1 and 2 tablespoons, but it depends on how much you're doing also. If you're making, oh, I got another whiff of that. Ooh. Alrighty, so looks pretty good. Got it nice and mixed up. I have the chicken, I have the shrimp. I'm just gonna take and throw these in the refrigerator until I'm ready to put them on the griddle. So off to the refrigerator. Now it's time to make the coleslaw. So I am going to get the coleslaw and show you how I do that. I'm doing a creamy coleslaw. You can do whatever kind, like if you don't want coleslaw, you can do like shredded lettuce with this. You could do vegetables like different tomatoes, salsa. I'm actually going to serve with this. I'm going to do a salsa, a corn salsa that I'm going to put with this. And usually that's pretty popular. There's a lot of people that really like that. So this is just something that I'm going to just show you what I'm making, but you can mix and match. If you have your favorite coleslaw recipe, you can. If you want to buy store-bought coleslaw, go for it. I used to have a supplier that I used to get like fresh, really good coleslaw from, and that's what we used for a long time, but they recently stopped making it. So I'm going to make my own. Just going to show you what I'm doing. I'm using my Aunt Bonnie's recipe. Thank you for this recipe. I'm really grateful that you shared it with me. So I'm going to be using mayo, and I'll have the measurements in the description for you. So just mayo, sour cream. I'm going to do a little bit of sugar. I have the coleslaw mix that I'm using, and then just some seasoning that I'm going to do. I'm going to keep this really simple. I'm not going to complicate this. So I'm just going to put the mayo in here. We're going to mix the dressing part of it up first, and then we'll add it to the coleslaw. And the mayo, the sour cream, and then we're going to do sugar. So we're doing a teaspoon of sugar. Sugar always makes everything better. There we go. And if you want to use sweetener, you can do that. And I'm just taking the little bit of Lowry's in here. And I'm just going to do this to taste. And we'll do the sprinkle here and the Morton's, because this is the seasoning that we like to do. So you can do salt and pepper if you want. You can do, if you have a favorite seasoning that you like to work with, then use that. And then my aunt also suggested some spicy brown mustard. I don't have that. I'm not a real mustard fan, so I'm going to try to do this with leaving that out. And then she also suggested onion powder too, to add just a little bit of onion powder. But we're going to just keep this simple. I'm going to just mix this all together like that. Not too bad. So then I have my bowl here. I have just a coleslaw mix that I'm doing. And I'm just going to open this up like that. Add that in there. And so I'm going to start with like half of this and see how it goes. I think I will end up needing it all here. So I do have, this is a 14-ounce bag of coleslaw, and I will leave all the measurements for you in the description for you though. There we go. And we're just gonna just like fold this in and kind of get this mixed up. It's kind of hard at the beginning. This is something that you really have to work with. And when it sits a little bit, you're gonna put this in the refrigerator and let it sit just a little bit. I would suggest not doing this step too far ahead of time. Like I probably wouldn't do this the day before that you're going to serve the tacos, because sometimes the cabbage has a tendency to get funky, and that's just a personal preference. If you're used to making coleslaw and doing it ahead of time, then go for it. I'm going to remove like the big pieces like that if you see anything like that. So I am going to now taste this. It's just some big chunks. I don't really care for the big chunks in there, and sometimes there's a lot of them. So at this point, this is where you can adjust the seasoning. So not too bad. I think I'm going to do some little bit more of the seasoning, the Lowry's. Not a lot, just a little bit. We're going to stir this in here, and then we're just going to let this sit. We're going to put this in the refrigerator along with the marinated meat, and we're going to just let this be till we serve it. I think that's probably going to be good enough. Let's see. I'm going to try just a little bit more here. Perfect. There we go. So this is the creamy coleslaw that we're going to use. I'm going to get this packaged up and get this in the refrigerator, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, now we're going to make the sauce for your tacos. So this is highly, completely up to you with this. We've tried several different sauces. You can use any kind that you would like. I'm just going to show you kind of what we use, and we've kind of we mix this up each time we make it just to see what we like and to see what we don't like. There's certain things that we found that we really don't like, and so I'm just going to show you what kind of sauce that I make for the tacos. Okay, I'm going to be using sour cream, mayo, some paprika, some salt, some lime juice, some pickle juice, a little bit of garlic, and sriracha. So you can mix this up, and you can use garlic powder instead of the fresh garlic. You can use no garlic if you want. Smoked paprika, you don't have to use it if you don't want it. You could do like salt and pepper, it's kind of up to you. You can do lemon juice instead of lime juice. But this, I'm going to just show you what sauce that I use for our griddle tacos. So I'm just going to start with the sour cream. And then I'm going to add the mayo. I will have the complete measurements for this in the description for you. And so we're going to do lime juice. This is 1 tablespoon of lime juice that I'm using. It's already measured on here. And it's like 1/2 of a lime is what I used. So just to give you an idea of 1 tablespoon of lime juice is 1/2 of a lime. I'm just going to pour that in here like that. And I'm going to add some pickle juice, and I'm just taking just your favorite pickles that you use. And I'm going to do, let's do the dry ingredients first, because I'm going to do the paprika. So actually, I'm just probably going to, let's see here. We're just going to shake it. I'll just shake some. And why is this being difficult? There we go. Pop that open like that. So I'm just going to shake a little bit in there, and we're going to just, I would say maybe it's like 1/8 of it. It's not very much. We're not going to do a whole lot in there. So just a little bit of salt. We're going to do some fresh ground salt there. Garlic. I am going to add, You can do fresh minced garlic if you like. I am going to just do just a little bit of this, the jarred minced garlic in here. I am going to do a little bit of the pickle juice, just like that. And then some sriracha. We're going to add just a little bit of sriracha on this, like that. Go like that. Okay, we're just going to mix that up. And then I'm going to taste it. I'm going to, like, after I get this mixed up, I'm going to see, like, if it needs a little bit of this or a little bit of that. You know, it is one thing with this, the sauce, everybody likes something different. So you have to make the sauce that's good for you and your family likes, stuff that your family likes. If you like a little bit more kick to it, add more sriracha. If you like a little love, if your family is a dill pickle lover, then add more dill pickle juice to it. I'm not a huge dill pickle lover, so I have a tendency, my family will like cut back on it. And I am going to, actually I'll grab a little spoon here. Not too bad. Got a little bit of kick from the sriracha. I'm not doing too bad with the dill pickle. And with a sauce like this, you are going to be like, our family just takes and like I serve it with a spoon or something, and we just take it and we swipe it across the tacos so it's like a thin layer on the bottom before we start. And so it's not, when you wrap it up and you eat it, it's not like overpowering. We don't actually take and like dump like plops full of it like all over our taco. It's something that we just take like that amount and wipe across the bottom of it and then build our taco on it. So each time you take a bite, it has just a little bit of that sauce to just take it up a notch. So this is something you need to experiment with. This is my recipe that I use, my family's recipe that we use, and you know, give it a shot. And so the next time, let's go get out to the griddle and start cooking. Now that everything's prepped up, you've got everything all ready to go, it's time to cook the meats that you have marinated and to make your tacos. So I am super excited to show you guys how I make griddle tacos and how delicious they are. They're so addicting, and you're going to want to make all different kinds. Once you learn the process of doing it, it is super easy, and you know, it might be your new summer favorite. So let's get griddling. All right, I have my griddle set at medium heat, medium low. We don't want it too high. This is quick cooking recipe. It doesn't take too long for this to cook. So I have my marinated chicken strips, the little pieces that we're going to do, and then I have the shrimp, the marinated shrimp that I have. So I am going to start cooking the chicken first because the shrimp takes they're super quick to do. So we're going to start with the chicken. And I do have a light seasoning from the night before, the time before when I cooked on it. I'm just going to do just a little bit of oil. Not a lot. It doesn't need a lot because remember, you have the olive oil that you marinated your meat in already. So this is just a little bit just to get the protection on the griddle. Like that. I'm going to rub it around a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do the chicken on one side, the shrimp on the other side here, and I'm just going to plop it on the griddle like that. Toss this in the garbage. I have my garbage right there. And we're going to spread this out. I'm using the top here just to spread this out a little bit. You want the chicken all like in an even layer on the griddle. You don't want it piled up because you want it to all cook evenly and you want it to cook quickly. So with this recipe, you don't want your griddle too high. You don't want it to cook really, really fast. But then again, you don't want it too low. So medium is a good heat. Medium low isn't too bad if you like cooking a little bit slower. So we've got an even layer there, just like that. And then now I'm just going to let this cook. Remember, don't keep on flipping it. We're just going to let it cook. We want to get those little brown bits in there. It will brown up really quickly. So on this side, I'm going to do the shrimp. And the shrimp might get done before the chicken, but we're going to watch it and we'll pull it off. I've got a container. You want to make sure to have your container handy for pulling it off so you can get it off quickly so it doesn't overcook. Okay. And as you hear the sizzle, that's what you want. You want to make sure your griddle is hot so that you hear that sizzle. Okay. And I am just going to spread this out so we have an even layer there, just like that. And the one thing that I like about shrimp is the shrimp will turn pink. It'll change from the opaque, the brownish color to the pink when it's done. And so you'll be watching this. And remember, you'll have hot spots in the griddle, so there might be some that are done quicker than the other. And so just keep an eye on them and flip them. As soon as you can see the bottom is turning that pinkish color, then we want to flip them, turn them to the other side. So that we're just going to let cook, and I'm not going to flip. Here I can see the chicken. See the chicken is sizzling nice and good, and I can see that the bottom sides of these are cooked, but the tops are not. So at this point, I'm going to flip them. I'm going to let that still cook just a little bit longer. And so now we're going to take and we're going to flip these. And oh, look at that color. That is perfect. Perfect, perfect. Flip it over. And some of them might be difficult. You might have to work with it to get them flipped over. But I really want to get that color on both sides of them if I can. And so that's why you don't want it to overcook on the one side and then not enough on the other side. Just like that. There we go. We got one that's struggling. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, that one. There we go. I think we got them all. We're looking good. We got one that's little tiny one here. How to get that one flipped. There we go. And see how quick this is? Just like really quick. And we've got the golden brown color. This is going to be just a little bit longer. And the shrimp are looking good. I'm going to take and flip them. Oh, look at that. We've got the taco seasoning has got a little bit of golden brown to it. And so this, and I'm using the point of my spatula here to turn these. It might be easier just to go and just turn individually each one. You know, if you want to try to do the whole group of them, you can. I think for me, it's just easier just to flip. You know, try flipping like that. Sometimes it's a little bit harder for me. And sometimes I just feel like I'm not making any progress when I do it that way. So I just do the tips. They will flip very easily when you get one side of them and flip them over. Just like that. Oh, yeah. We got nice color here. So this I'm going to toss a little bit. And this actually looks pretty good. You want to make sure that you don't overcook it. If you need to, you know, I would suggest like if they're small pieces that I have them in and they're cooked on both sides, so you know that they're going to be done. Actually, I'm going to pull these because you know, if you need to test a piece, you can. Like just take take the side of there and cut it open, like maybe get a thick piece and cut it open and see if you get any of the pink color in it. And this I've got all white. So I'm going to pull this because I don't want it to be too done. And we're going to get this off. And I'm actually going to turn the griddle off because the shrimp, I know we're done. And I just don't want to get them overcooked. So we're going to shut the gas off and then shut off each burner. Just like that. And so I'm going to turn my bowl around. I'm going to do, if you have people with allergies, you want to make sure to either not cook with it or keep your utensils separate. My family doesn't have any seafood allergies, and we actually like combining them together. So there you go. Look how gorgeous that looks. Nice golden brown color there. So you can make a huge batch of this on the griddle, and I just did a small, enough for my family, and then maybe some for leftovers. So super simple. Let's actually make a taco. I'm going to show you how I make my taco, and we're going to put it together for you. So let's make some tacos. I'm going to show you how I do mine, how we put ours together. I have an assortment of different ingredients that our family likes to use, and you can do anything that you want with this. I'm just going to give you a few ideas. I've got we have the creamy coleslaw that we made. I have the taco sauce that we're going to use as the filling inside there. I did bring out some sour cream if anybody wants that. We've got the shredded cheese. I did do some shredded lettuce. You know, some people may not want coleslaw. You may want a little bit of both. And then we like the pico de gallo. We get the corn, the Southwest version with a little bit of corn in it, and it really adds to this dish. So let's make a taco. Okay, we're going to start with making our griddle taco. We got the small soft shell tortillas, and I'm going to take a little bit of the taco sauce, and I'm going to put right down the middle. And this, a little bit goes a long way, and we're just going like that with it. And I am going to do a little bit. Let's see, I'm going to add the meat. We'll add the meat next. And I'm going to do some chicken. We'll do some chicken here. Just like that. We're going to just do a few pieces right down the center there. And then I'm going to do just a little bit of coleslaw because I am going to do coleslaw and some lettuce. I like to do just a little bit of each and not a lot. Just a little bit we're going to do. So we've got the shredded lettuce, and I'm going to put right down the middle there like that. I'm going to add some cheese to this, just like that. And then I'm going to add some of the salsa, or the pico de gallo. And salsa is another thing too that you can use. So I'm just going to do a little bit right down the center here, just like that. I don't want a lot. I just want just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of flavor. And I don't like onions, so I'm actually taking the onions, the raw onions, out of mine. So look how amazing my taco looks. So it's layered, got layers of goodness in there, and you can have whatever that you want. And so I'm going to gently just fold this up, just kind of roll it a little bit like that, so that we have, stuff is going to come out of it, but that's okay. That's when you know it's really, really good. Mm. 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 This is so good. Give this a try. My griddle tacos. Mix up the meats a little bit in it. Do some fish tacos. Do some chicken. Do some shrimp. Do some steak. Mix it up, whatever your family likes, and do an assortment. Have a taco bar. This is a perfect meal to have for a crowd. If you're griddle cooking for a crowd, then this is a perfect recipe to have. Have an assortment of stuff. Let people choose, mix and match. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. And make sure to get my cookbook. I have the cookbook, Recipes for the Blackstone Griddle. You can go. I will leave the link in the description for you to purchase that. And check out my membership. I have a Griddle Secrets membership, and I'm onboarding members right now. So I will leave the link in the description for you. And go check out my website, from Michigan to the table.com. I have all kinds of Blackstone griddle recipes on there for you to try. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. So just want to give you a little sneak peek. I don't know if you could see the garden back there. We planted the garden and over Memorial Weekend. So when I do more recordings, you're actually going to be able to see the garden grow in all different kinds of things that we have in our garden. So make sure to check out and keep an eye on what we're growing in our garden, because I'm going to be taking some of those ingredients and putting them on the griddle and cooking them up and making some amazing recipes this summer. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you make your own griddle tacos and have success with it just like we have. I will see you again in the future with another video. Bye.